Do you say yes to avoid conflict, keep the peace, or to be seen as good? Maybe you think you're being nice, but let's be real. Nice people don't get appreciated, they get used. And it's not just others disrespecting you, it's you disrespecting yourself every time you say yes when you want to say no. Today I'm sharing 5 ways that saying no changed my life, because once I started respecting me, other people did too. And at the end, I'm giving you a tool to make saying no easier. The first way that saying no changed my life was a game changer, and it was a harsh truth about being a people pleaser that I didn't want to hear, and that is when I started saying no, I became trustworthy. And what do I mean by that? I'm going to go into that in a little bit, but first what I want to say is if you have been an auto yeser for most of your life, this is not your fault that you're saying yes all the time. We were trained, we were taught as kids to not say no, right? That it was wrong to say no, that it was rude or selfish, or that you're difficult when you say no. So you're not broken, you're not weak because you don't say no. It's just something that was conditioned into you. You were probably taught to be nice, to be the peacekeeper, to be a helper, and it was just easier to go along than to speak up. But there's a cost of all this saying yes as an adult that no one talks about, and that is how much resentment it brings in, how it makes us feel invisible and disconnected from ourselves and from other people. And deep down, you know that every time you overcommit or overextend yourself, you feel it, but then you tell yourself, it's fine, but it's not fine. You're exhausted and resentful and maybe even a little pissed off. And the truth is, when we never say no, people get used to that. They assume that you'll do it, that you're available, and they stop asking and start expecting. And that's how good people get used. Not because we're too nice, but because we can't say no. And I get it. Saying no can be terrifying when you've lived your whole life saying yes, because there could be backlash, retaliation, rejection, judgment, and guilt that comes from saying no. But we've only been taught the downside of no, the things that will happen if we do say no. What if there's an upside to it? And what if we could endure the short-term discomfort for the long-term gain of the respect that we will gain from other people and from ourselves? What if no isn't this scary thing that ruins all of our relationships, but it's actually this powerful move that saves your energy, your time, your peace, and deepens all of your relationships, especially the one you have with yourself? So here are the 5 ways that saying no actually makes your life better, even after a lifetime of saying yes the way we were taught. And I talk about these things with my clients, and they come back to the next session and say, what a difference it makes. So number 1, I've already talked about it. When we start saying no, instead of being the auto yeser, we become trustworthy. There's a saying that if I can't trust your no, then I can't trust your yes. And that hit me like a brick to the head, because as a people pleaser, we are yes people. And so saying no makes it seem like we would be less trustworthy because people won't like us if we say no. But it's actually the opposite. When we say yes all the time, we become resentful. We show up to things begrudgingly because we don't really want to be there. And other people can sense that. And they begin to not trust your yes because they know that your heart is not in it. Or maybe you don't even show up at all. You bail or you ghost. And obviously that makes you not very trustworthy for the future. So if you don't know how to say no to people, then your yes starts to mean nothing to them. Some people might get frustrated with that and leave your life. Other people might take advantage of that. But either way, you're not building trust, and you're not building trust with yourself. So saying no when you mean no makes your yes reliable and honest. People start to trust that you say what you mean and you mean what you say. So more trust equals more respect. And you will start to feel that inside yourself as well. The second way that life improves is that your nervous system calms down. When we eliminate this undercurrent of stress that we were giving ourselves from overcommitting and overthinking everything that we said or what they think, then that allows the nervous system to calm down. There's less cortisol, there's less adrenaline in our bodies. Because when you say what you mean, there's less tension, there's less second guessing, there's less managing other people's expectations. You're saying what you mean, you're saying what you need, not relying on what you think they want you to say. And that decreases stress in our bodies. The third way that life improves is that people that were using your niceness to their advantage either step up or they step out, they step back. And yes, that may mean that people leave your life when they can no longer take advantage of you, but wouldn't you rather that than them faking that they like you because they like your niceness? So number 3 is that you stop being a doormat. You stop being taken for granted. Saying no draws a line in the sand that this is where the end is for me. This is what I will tolerate. And the subconscious mind recognizes when you start standing up for yourself, and it will support you in that. You will start to feel more confident after you start saying no more often. Many times I hear, but I'm not confident enough to speak up. We have to start first, and then the confidence comes. Confidence comes with action. And with you saying no more often also comes respect. A side note here, people pleasers love to give second chances. I know, I was one of them. We say, oh, they didn't mean it, but that is saying yes to whatever happened that you really don't want to say yes to. You don't want it to continue. So stop tolerating things in your life by saying yes to them, by giving second chances, by saying they didn't mean it. Start speaking up for yourself. The fourth way that our life improves when we start saying no. Do you feel guilty for taking time for you? People pleasers seem to forget that our time is our own. And saying no to things starts reminding you that you control your time. By saying no, you reclaim your time and start using it in the way that you want to. And someone asked me in the comments of another video, is it okay to say no after you say yes? And I say, absolutely. It is okay to change your mind. Just do it in a kind way. I was invited to a Christmas party, a holiday party, by a friend of mine a few years ago, and I had committed to bringing something to the party. That day of the party, I just was not feeling it. It was during COVID, and I just wasn't feeling up to being around people, talking about things that were happening in my life. I just wasn't up to it. So I got the thing that I was committed to taking. I went to the party, dropped it off, said that I wasn't staying, that I just had made the decision that I wasn't wanting to stay at the party, that nothing was wrong. I just needed to not stay. And so I greeted a couple of people, the hostess, and I left my thing and I left. And I didn't feel guilty about it. I did it for me. It's what I needed in that moment. I needed to not stay at that party, be around people. It wasn't the right way for me to spend my time in that moment. And so I said no, even after I had said yes previously. So it is okay to change your mind and say no even when you said yes to begin with. You get to decide how to use your time. And this helps you reclaim your identity because you're starting to invest your time in your goals, your desires, your wants, your needs, instead of in everyone else's. And the fifth way that saying no improves your life is something that seems really counterintuitive, and that is that it deepens all of your relationships. We think that saying no is going to hurt our relationships, but it actually deepens them. And here's why. Because, go back to number one, we become more trustworthy. When people can trust that we say what we mean, that is going to make our relationships more connected, not more disconnected. And again, the people that aren't in the relationship, and I'm talking about friends, coworkers, bosses, intimate partners, family, it doesn't matter. It is going to deepen the relationships with the people who honor your no, who honor who you are. It will disconnect you from the people that don't honor that, and that's okay. Saying no filters out the takers, and the people who stay are the ones that love you, not love what you did for them, not love that you overgave. And here's the really cool thing. Once you start changing this old pattern, your mind gets on board with that and it starts to support you in that. Your energy changes. You start showing up differently as a person who respects themselves and who knows they are worthy and deserving of respect from others. This deepens the way you feel about yourself, and then your energy about you, how you feel about you, shifts. And when that happens, the energy around you shifts, because our energy impacts everyone around us, everything around us. It's like throwing a little pebble in the pond. There are ripples that go out, and your energy is the same way. So when you start respecting yourself, other people will show up differently in your life as well. Your changed energy changes the energy of everything else in your life, and it makes relationships feel more mutual, more respectful, and less draining. So the fifth way that saying no improves your life is that your relationships will deepen, and especially the relationship that you have with yourself. So what do you think? Is it worth some short-term discomfort to gain long-term respect from the people in your life, and especially from yourself? I know if you were taught that it was wrong to say no, that it makes it more difficult now. And that's why I created a free guide that is 20 ways to say no without feeling guilty or selfish. It's exact phrases to use to help you start stepping up and saying no in situations where in the past you would have said yes. If you want to learn to play the piano, you have to practice. We have to practice saying no. We won't just automatically be granted the confidence to do it. The confidence will come once we start speaking up. I have a link to the guide in the description, or you can say guide in the comments and I will get it to you. Are you ready to start saying no more often and build that trust and respect in yourself? I'd love to hear your comments. As always, I appreciate you watching. Thanks for being here. I love reading your comments. And if you'd like to know 9 other things that I quit in midlife to make my life better, to improve my life, then check out this video right here. Maybe you think you're being nice, but let's be real. Maybe you think you're being nice, but let's be real. Do you say yes to avoid conflict? Saying no when you mean no makes your yes reliable and honest. Ow, 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 cramp in my foot. Duh. Duh.